This is Dr. Awesome here with my second Gunpla. And for this one, I chose, an RGM-79. And this is an older kit I picked up in a local store. And for the grand total price of $10.95 plus tax. One of the things I love about Gunpla is just how cheap it is. They got one factory's been making them continuously for decades. It's just like they load new molds in, make a bunch, they all sell. So, yeah, no problem making money. Other models be 3 or 4 times as much as that, for the same thing you get. Except for Warhammer, that might be 5 or 6 times as much. That's the way Warhammer goes. And as I said, this is my second Gunpla. I'm still relatively new to the whole Gundam thing. Very new to Gunpla. Gundam, I started with Witch from Mercury. That was my first series, so my introduction. And I watched that as it came out. Took a break, then watched the whole thing again. And once I was finished with that, took a bit of a longer break. I don't like to binge watch much. I do, take my time watching shows, take breaks between seasons. After that, I went back, watched the original from 1979. Liked that more than I thought. Old animation, a little wonky, but, really good. And after another break, I watched Zeta Gundam. And then after my next break, I decided not to watch the follow-on because there was a new series coming up. So then I watched The Origin before getting into Gundam Kooks. And I'm glad I did the way Origin is panning out. Oh, well, one other thing, or two other things. I did start reading Gundam Thunderbolt, which makes me really, really happy that I got a GM here, because there are GMs featured very prominently in Thunderbolt, at least early on. So I got a soft spot for them, even though in Thunderbolt they were mostly blown to bits. And also, as a bit of a side quest, I did watch Gundam Build Fighters and Gundam Build Fighters Try. So I like those. Those two series after that, they look a little goofy animation-wise. I might get to them. But, and just this morning, I'm up to episode 5 on Kooks, so I'm liking that series. I'll probably watch maybe up to episode 8 or so, and then give that a break, and then, or not, it depends, and then I'll watch the whole thing straight through from the beginning. We'll see how that goes. So episode 5 was this morning, and I got a question. Was that supposed to be like fan servicey? Because I noticed character designs aren't that real, and the girls are like young, so I don't know. You had some scantily cladness and some sunbathing, but I don't know. Just not my kind of fan service if it was. So, for the record, my kind of fan service isn't the pervy new kind. The upskirt panty shots I don't like. Characters like falling into each other, I don't like that. That's kind of cheap. My favorite is just hot characters looking hot. Sometimes they're scantily clad, sometimes they're naked. And I must say, I do like the over-the-top, super obvious and overdone fan service as well. If you've watched something like Gunbuster, early on, jump rope scene. I think that's in the first episode. And then the other one that comes to mind is the beach volleyball episode in Dirty Pair, the last one, the last series. What was that called? Oh man, well, it's the third series. So if Dirty Pair, there's beach volleyball scene or episode, and then that scene on the stairs. If you'd watched that, I appreciate the animation there. I don't watch that over and over again because it's hot. I just appreciate, the effort that went into it by the animators. Okay, so what am I talking about here? This GM model, old one, I actually liked building it, to the build process better than the Demi Trainer I did, even though it's an older kit. Maybe because I just got into the swing of building, and because I do like that it was, more prominent in a book series that I like. What I did notice right off the bat is that this is a softer plastic than the newer kit. So I did use the PN120 almost entirely as my nipper there. And it did gum up my file, a bit more. And there's just one decal, that chest thing. And then the one thing that bugged me the most, these ankles were molded with the rest of that lower leg. So I did paint those. This gray, which works really well, it matches the color of the molded gray almost entirely. And it did come with a beam saber, and I'm learning that I don't like Gundam markers at all. And I did get the Gundam marker. I tried to use it, it's like push on it a little bit, nothing comes out. Push a little more, nothing. Push a little more, and then it just pours out all over the place. So I did just pour out a bit, and then just brush that on. Articulation's pretty good. I don't notice a big difference between the earlier one. This one has a moving head, which I like. One odd thing I noticed on both this and the other one, I feel almost compelled to paint the bottom of the feet and the inside of the shield, since there's a lot of detail there. And that's not on any of the important parts of the suit, so I don't get what the point in painting that would be. And it does come with a shield, comes with one gun, and a beam saber, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'll take that one out for continuity, okay? So that doesn't bother me. Yeah, so this is a simple stand here. These are cheap. If you build Gunpla at all, you know what these are. And I've seen there's like character stickers that go on a certain make of stand. But you have to buy that specific stand to get those. I'll probably do that in the future. And as far as the attachment point for the stand, it just has one in the middle of the back there. It doesn't have that uncomfortable to insert one that the newer kit did. All in all, though, I'm beginning to really like these. I have the next one on order, and that's the first Kooks kit, which is not surprisingly on back order everywhere. So I had to order that one. And I'm wondering if I should do any figure models. Are those cost about twice as much as the Gunpla, so I don't know if they're worthwhile. Another thing I noticed, they're all girls almost exclusively. From Kooks, they do have one of Shuji, which I think is the first guy that I've ever seen a kit from, just looking through the catalogs. So I think that's kind of weird, because I would want to build more of the guys. Anyhow, this is definitely worth the price. Yeah, worth building an older kit. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy this hobby a lot. Maybe too much, but yeah, whatever. And that's it for today.